Hello, Herbert Erpaderp. That's not what they call me. Actually, sometimes I am early. Not often. It looks like I'm having that fun thing with my internet, where it just randomly, very briefly disconnects because I can see the YouTube chat saying, "Please wait while we try to reconnect you. Successfully reconnected." That's gonna be fun. Why the fuck does this happen? It doesn't happen any other time except when I'm trying to stream lately. What a pain in the cock. If it happens too much, I'm just going to give up. Fair warning. Unbox. Should have opened the box before I started. Look at that. Bits of plastic. Got a drugs baggie with a gun in it. Maybe I shouldn't be saying these things. This is going to be not suitable for all advertisers on YouTube. Twitch won't give a shit. Take these things out of the box. I believe I already had the instructions out so I could peruse them. Was on Twitch a bit too. Pick was frozen when I entered first time. Didn't show at all the second time. Being good the third time. That's really annoying. Like, there's no reason I can see for it. It doesn't... Nothing else disconnected or had a problem. Nothing else that's running. That's using the internet. It's done specifically to upset me. That's how the world works. I guess the first thing we need is the hull. The C, D, and F sprues. C, D's, F, nuts, sprues. D and F. Gonna have to deal with that photo etch at some point soon. I don't see any room for problems. I could walk on foot to Australia. It's that near. That's true. Hey, George Van Pelt, how you doing? Okay, where are my clippers? Under the sprues I just got out. That's where they belong, apparently. F-37, the bits that I forgot on my Tamiya Tiger. Don't fly away, you cheeky shit. We won't forget them on this build. Enjoyed my Railroader video? Excellent. I might play Railroader in the morning. Or I might stay asleep. Okay. You can go up there. We need D8 and D7. A little bit hard to see where the part ends. I should be able to tell these apart. Should being the operative word. No forgetting this time. This build will be perfect. It will. Or else. Okay, C10. Satan? It's very small, thus easy to lose. The trick is, just don't lose the parts. Easy. And we get rid of this nubbin. I'm pretty sure I saw in the instructions that these little, what look to be guides, need to be trimmed off. And it's probably easiest to do that before adding anything else to the hull, rather than in step 6. That's what it looks like they want to me, and the picture shows in step 6 a flat lower front plate, so that's what I'm gonna do. The first thing will be to remove that. That's new to me. I always thought the aim was to lose some parts. Well, maybe. You've got to know when to lose them and when to hold them, or however that song goes. Or if you're going to lose parts, and there's plenty of them, you've got to know which parts to lose that you don't need. How much did I pay for that Tiger? I have no idea, actually. I can't remember. I think it was like $35. Maybe 40 Australian. I don't know if it was on special when I bought it, but I was suckered into buying a bunch of kits on special. Because who can resist like 40% off? Not me. Hey, Mace Model Assembling, how you doing? It's a very little ridge along these parts that I don't think should be there. By ridge, I mean mold line. Not so much on that one. Same price in Germany. Yeah, I would expect it to be roughly the same pretty much everywhere. That is so tiny. Why is it so tiny? Because it's 72nd scale, Herbert. Duh.
That's what she said.
That is what she said. I heard her. She was very loud. I hope I didn't remove too much plastic there. I don't think I did. It's almost impossible to hold the part without it being entirely covered by finger. That's probably gonna be fine. And or dandy. And now let's shave off the little doovers. They're not nubbins, really. If we do it in such a way that the camera can see it, we can have something to waffle over. Ideally, it would be in focus. It shouldn't be hard. I shouldn't be able to fuck it up. Just a case of slice. Don't know why they're there in the first place, but they are. If it's a little bit rough, it's okay, because there's going to be spare track links covering it up. Much better to do it now than after we've got all the wheels and stuff on. Why did I push that away? I still need it. Okay. Bit of plastic in the way there, but that's fine. Ideally, the detail goes on the outside here. Probably have evaporated the glue. Why does that not really... Doesn't seem to want to sit flat. Maybe glue will solve the problem. It does, in fact, solve the problem. All problems can be solved with either a knife or glue. Nearly tipped that glue bottle over. I don't want to lose most of my glue again. But it would be good to get it out of my system before replacing this cutting mat with one that isn't already damaged by glue. Spare track links aren't the solution for all, Herbert. Yeah, they're not. The solutions are knives and glue. Spare track links are just a happy mistake that covers up scrape marks or something. The instructions show the hull upside down, so if I hold it that way, surely it'll help. That shouldn't be too much of an issue. Excuse me. Looks good. Looks good. Is good. Hopefully we don't later find out that it's not exactly in the right place and impairs the fitting of the upper hull or something. Surely that would never happen. And then we have this little thing, which I can't even pick up. And it goes... There's very tiny little guide pins on the bottom. And it goes under here. We may need the help of some tweezers for this. I want the part to stay up that way. And it just wants to roll over. How fucking rude. Tweezer time. If you want 20% off, go to 9 Steps Industries and use code Herbert20. Let's try to get this in first go. One shot, one glue, and impossible to do. Come on, just go into the little hole. This is exactly the right music for this. I think that's where that'll stay. It's probably not even going to be visible when the tracks are on, so maybe it's not in the hole. It looks like it's sitting above the hole. You could probably get away with omitting this. It is pretty annoying to install. And hopefully it's in the right spot and not going to interfere with the tracks, or I'll have to cut it off. Piss! I can't hold it in the tweezers up the right way. You know, I thought the photo etch was going to be the annoying stuff in this kit. Oh, how I was wrong. It's aggressively difficult to place. I think it's on purpose. Now let's put glue on. Hey, Sam Claudia, how you doing? The glue knocks it out of position. But it's not that bad. Not as bad as it could be. That was annoying. But it's in place, I guess. Okay, Herbert's imaginary I was wrong button. Button 1,786,009th hit. Seems low. Okay, now need more bits. Need more space to organize my sprues. Need a lot from these two. I think first though, I want the F parts and the D parts. F for fiddlesticks. I'm looking at the D sprue. What an idiot. There are bits we need off the D sprue though, so... Is that a hair or a string of plastic? It's a white hair. Okay. Those are the two off the D sprue. Clip without going flying. That one disappeared, but luckily it disappeared onto the desk. $1,786,010 hits. Dang it. That's a counter that will never stop going up. Do these first few bits first. They aren't the first bits, but maybe next bits would be the right choice. Do these before adding all of the suspension arms and whatnot. Good. This tank does have a fair bit of internal detail, so I might have to stop and do some internal painting before. I guess it is pretty tiny, but at 72nd scale isn't the smallest scale. More involved assembly than 100th scale, though. I can't imagine adding tiny little bits of 100th scale photo etch, nor do I want to. Nubs across the top that we don't need. This is a nub-free zone, you may have noticed. Then why are you there, Herbert? Do I have any pets? I have fish. I used to have mice, but I let them all die. Mostly because they die quickly because they only live a couple of years. I have to build some tanks in 285th scale this week still. I hope you don't mix up the parts. Good luck with that. It's going to be complicated. I've been putting off building the universal carrier I've got in that scale. I think I'll paint it as like a April Fool's joke video and be all like, the biggest model I've ever painted! And everybody will laugh and laugh, and nobody will not understand that it's a joke and get all butt blasted about it. Make sure I'm not wiping parts off the bench. That would be annoying. Who would do that? I'm going to assume, because I've mixed up the parts, that the little bit of, I guess you'd call it detail, goes on the outside. Or does it go in like that? I am hoping this is the correct way. And putting that in there will not interfere with the rear plate. Because it looks like the correct way. Maybe if I got the rear plate and did this weird thing where you test how it fits. Jeffreying. That's another white hair. Back in the box. Not first to fight, but first to glue. That's me. I saw the Australian military is buying their Euro-built helicopters in the dust after you... in the Durst? I don't know. I don't keep up with what this military's buying. They're probably spending too much money on dog shit. Make sure I find all the nubbins. Otherwise, well, I don't know. The nubbin police would come and get me. You know that someone on the internet won't understand that's a joke? That's an internet rule! Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Okay, so that does look like there's going to be room for those bracket doovers there. And if I don't put them in, we'll get a lot of side-to-side movement, which would not be ideal. The more you know. Also, we need to make a decision now, because this plate has mounting brackets for the whatever you call them, for the filters. You'd have to shave those off for paint option 2 or 3. I think I'm going with paint option 1, because I like the air filters, so I'm going to leave them on. Imagine how many kits you could buy for one helicopter. Probably at least 3. Probably at least 3, I don't know, like 6th scale or 4th scale RC tanks. Okay, now we glue the brackets on. Who doesn't like a good bracket gluing? At least the Australian military is smarter than Herbert. They don't buy stuff including photo etch. I mean, I guess not. Maybe it's just because they can't. These shouldn't be too hard to drop into place. He says, hopefully. Let's change that focus just a touch. Glue. It's what's for dinner. Sorry, kids. It's glue for dinner again. Maybe I'll add a touch more just to make sure it's going to stay there. The glue does evaporate very quickly, even though it's not a particularly hot evening and the air conditioner is on. Make sure this fits. It does indeed. It's going to take that with it. So, let's glue this into place. It is part of the instructions. Looks like it's ever so slightly high on this side. Man, it's smoking the reefer. probably fine. Probably. So I can't seem to force it to get any further down. For the price of a helicopter, you can buy 3 great kits with photo etch too, but for the rest of the money, you can hire the Prime Minister and force him to do the photo etch for you. I don't trust the Prime Minister to do anything right. I don't want him to touch my models. Okay, middle sections. Look at that, there's a little hole you can crawl through to the engine area. Surely that's what that is. Where does it go? There's mounting holes there. Is that the right way around? Looks to be. That's really a really detailed wall. There are little guide tabs on the sides here that should work. It hasn't gone all the way down into the slot on this side. I'm really hoping that is far enough down. If not, we'll just have to shave the top down a bit, I guess. Nobody will ever see it. I don't think it's right. I don't want to pull it out and correct it. If I can. That does actually look slightly better. We'll see if this was a mistake later. Escape hatch? I don't know about that. Also, hey Richard, how you doing? If you want to escape into the engine bay. This part goes around this way, I think. There's a bit I haven't trimmed off on the inside there. Perfect model making music. I do build more than I paint because I build I paint quite slowly, and there is absolutely no motivation for me to paint any quicker. Because nobody watches painting videos, and I don't want to paint on stream because I only paint in short bursts. Seems probably not perfect vertically, and it seems to have a slight bow in it. But I think that's about as good as I'm getting that. Hopefully, squashing the upper hole on top of it will force it all into position. Came here so Herbert Erpaderp can put me back to sleep. Yeah, I have that effect on people. saw that February money arrived in your account. Yes, but don't be afraid, I won't do any silly impulse buying. It won't be impulsive at all. Is it planned, Trekan? You've got planned buying. Okay, that can go over there. Well, that bond, with the hope that it is all correct and good and will not cause any problems. Because I don't have the patience for petulant plastic causing problems. Providing problems. I like alliteration. We want the sea sprue now. Sea sprues. There are 2. Look how good that little radiator fan thingy looks. It doesn't quite focus very good. I'm not gonna fiddle with the focus, but it looks good. You'll have to take my word. This part looks different than it does on the instructions. And swing arms, or whatever they're called. A whole lot of them. Did I lose one of those? No, it went over behind the hull. I wouldn't lose parts. That'd be silly. I don't do silly things. How's the model railway going? It's going? I still have to paint track. It's been too hot to do that because the room where I have to do that is not air conditioned. I can't tell if these are meant to be guide nubs or if it's just bits of sprue. I don't think so, because there's no holes there. The shape of the part is the guide. Yep, picked the wrong tool up, you fool. Live in Japan with no air conditioner. That mustn't be cool. Get it? Very funny, Herbert. Fortunately, I have an air conditioner in here. Otherwise, I would die. Because with the PC and lights on, even without that on, an enclosed room with PC and lights is not good. The annoying thing about living here is the other morning, I think it was about 4:30, 5:30 maybe, and it was storming in the morning, and it was still something like 28 degrees. Maybe not quite that much, but it was still very, very muggy and humid and gross. Okay, do I clean those up and then put them on and then put the ones on the other side, or do I look at this and look at that as actually bowed? I'm sure it's gonna be fine. No one's probably even gonna see that when the whole top is on. I think I will build this kit with open hatches. Otherwise, what the hell is the point of the interior? Looks neat enough, and if it looks neat enough, I'm probably wrong and there's going to be issues. Excuse me. Sometimes it is regrettable to work on such tiny little models. But it's not like the other choice I had lined up for tonight was any bigger. It was a 72nd scale Type 89 was my other choice. And I chose this because I thought it would be... I wanted to get it done. I wanted to build it. I thought it might be cooler because it's a more new kit. Maybe people would like to see that. But there will be a IBG Type 89 build soon. Maybe those... Is those marks meant to be there? It looks kind of like it is. They're not going to be... They're going to be hidden by wheels. I'm not going to worry about it. Herbert's building a tank with open hatches. I hear rattling from his unbuilt crew figures box. No, you don't. They're perfectly non-rattling, and I'm not aware that I'm building a model that could potentially have crew visible. They would just get in the way of seeing the interior. I wonder if I can get this to the point where I put tracks on it. Not tonight, but another night. Ideally, I can put one set of tracks on off-stream in my own slow time. He's an imposter. Who's an imposter? Look at that. All of those little pieces of plastic ready, and there's still double that to do. Dang it. Does modeling to a schedule spoil the enjoyment? Not generally. I mean, if I really don't feel like doing it, I just cancel the stream. Doing YouTube videos every week started being annoying, so I stopped doing that. Now it's every 2 weeks. But like things, if I have to do it to a schedule, it gets annoying. That's why I'm not a big fan of group builds, because I never seem to be able to do anything in the schedule window. Some people enjoy having the pressure to get things done within a time frame, but I do not. Even if I make the time frame up myself. It's a little hard to see if that's in focus when my face is right up against the phone. Speaking of schedule, I think doing regular streams on like Monday and Wednesday nights kind of is like setting out time specifically to do hobby, which I think helps. Because even though it is something I enjoy, I'm the sort of person who might not do anything if I don't schedule a time for it, if that makes sense. That looks like it doesn't fit properly. The question is there meant to be a gap under it? Or not? Good thing the glue didn't do a whole lot of bonding. What if I very gently scrape along the edge here? And remove a little bit of material. Give that a whirl. Hey, silly, how you doing? Good afternoon. That might fit slightly better. And if it doesn't, I'm calling the police. Sting will be very upset. That seems to be a better fit. It looks like it's actually horizontal compared to the side of the hull now, at least. Oh, look at that, you've bent that backwards. Don't do that. Australian man talks to himself. What a buffer mess that was. Did I have that fun thing where my internet shits out again? Oh, you were talking about the other ranch simulator stream. That was irritating. I had the thing this start of this stream where the YouTube chat said it disconnected. Just to annoy me. Fucking internet. Okay, this looks like it's got some keying on the inside, so I can't put it on too wrong. Does it actually reach far enough in to engage with... Just throw the model away. Can't quite see if it engages with the keying. Or there's enough movement in the keying that it doesn't really do anything. I think that there is enough play in it that you can slightly adjust the thing, though I don't know why you would want to, because that's how you get a bad fit. How's the build so far, SEO? It's alright. There's been that bit that didn't quite fit properly. It seems okay so far. Excuse me. Fiddly because bits are small. I was going to glue that in pretty much vertical. Beck, come back. Talks to him in the third person. Usually these people see a shrink. Shrink didn't help. There we go. That's probably, hopefully, a good fit. I think, though, if it's not a good fit, we can just flood the area with glue and twist it back or forward, because it won't move too much. It should be fine, I hope. Okay. I'm sure this is going to be fine and easy. There is a sort of keying in here. There is a little bit of play though, which probably don't really want in road wheel, in suspension on a model where the tracks are supposed to be in a precise position. Probably... oh, this is going to be annoying. This is going to result in a bad set of road wheels, probably. Better keying, please, Vespid. That doesn't seem like it wants to go in the actual hole.
That's what she said.
Yep. That is what she said. Don't use normal glue. Use fur foam. I have no idea what that is. Is it worse than hot glue? Now let's look at this part. It's rounded on top and flat on bottom. Kind of like a D on its back. So it should, in theory, only really have one way it goes. That can't be in the way. Maybe it is in the way. Maybe I just stick it in and hope for the best. How much for coffee? I have no idea. I don't drink coffee. We are definitely going to have trouble with the first swing arm. The rest seem like they'll be fine. I could just stick glue in and hope that it sort of works. I don't want to. Fur. Help him out, Trekan. It sounds German. Well, Trekan is an expert on German stuff. Wonder if it's just as annoying. It's further back on the other side, so there shouldn't be any interference from the, hang on. Oh, yeah, they go that way. I was looking at it wrong. Doesn't want to seem to go all the way. Doesn't seem to want to go all the way in on some of these. Why can't it just be simple? Have the parts fit and not be annoying. To be fair, I have had not horrible issues, but issues with pretty much every Vespid kit's running gear. Is it just a matter of it not going in the hole far enough, or is there a problem? Do I just fix it with pressure? I could try. How long have I wasted trying to get this stupid swing arm into place? Probably 30 minutes? Can't be that much. What I might do is glue the rest on. Well, we've got a segment of 5 minutes recorded of me just arsing about with that. That's too much time. Too much screwing around. We've got that tilted back again. That's going to be annoying. The hell was that sound?
New donation from George Van Pelt.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I can't see where that is on my OBS. I think maybe you're meant to install them that way, because there looks like there's going to be a little bit of overlap. I see, the thing was that through coffee. Excellent, I appreciate that. I didn't know what you meant by coffee. You were talking about coffee. I thought you assumed, like, I thought you were asking how much an actual coffee costs. I am a ding-a-ling. That is way too much play in the part for something that's meant to have keying, and for something that's meant to have the track set is like in a fixed position. It would be fine if it was individual links. I think the thing to do will be try and have everything at the same angle and hope for the best. And think of a way to hide the mistakes in the tracks in mud. That's definitely easier putting them in along that way. Try to get that one to line up with the rest. That looks...
That's what she said.
Yep, it is. Insulation foam that comes out of a can, foams up and hardens, bubbles. I didn't understand what you meant. I have no idea what that is, what that's called. I do now that you've mentioned that. That would be a really good way to glue a model together. By which I mean that would be horrible. Hopefully, that's good enough. It's not going to be good enough. I don't often paint models after I've finished building them because, again, I would be constantly painting models. I just pick and choose. And sometimes I just don't feel like painting at all. So I don't, because that would be ruining my hobby. I'm really not looking forward to trying to get the tracks onto this thing now. Hopefully my internet isn't dropping out. Don't think it is. Hey, Yana, how you doing? And in first-hand experience before it hardens, it is sticky as hell. It never stops sticking. Perfoam, sticking when it is in your clothing. Well, that's what you want. That's exactly what you want. That means it's good for gluing models together, right? It never lets go. The other sprue, because it has the parts I want. And this time, instead of arsing about, I'll know to just glue them right on and YOLO it. That's the key to good modeling. YOLO. Trying to cut through the axle there. You tried to escape. So it's kind of like super glue, where it sticks to your fingers and everything except the thing you're trying to glue together. Sounds like it. And then it foams up. I've seen people use that for like sort of stuff for model railway scenery. It might be actually worth thinking about for me. I've got foam, like the insulation foam, but if I need more to fill spaces with, they'll probably stop selling it at the local hardware again. What a wonderful world. Excuse me. It's wonderful to get mountains in a sea, you know, a quick and easy way. But don't get the cheap ass stuff. What's the difference between the cheap ass stuff and the not cheap ass stuff? I would assume they do similar things, but then I don't know anything about anything. Very difficult to get a grip on this weird shaped object. Hopefully that's gonna fit. Nope, I didn't lose. Didn't lose the idler wheel holder. I just nearly did. Kind of the same thing, but not really. Ah. If I could recommend, I would suggest getting smaller fingers for handling tiny bits like this. I don't know how much need there is really to remove these nubbins off these arms. They'll probably be pretty well hidden, but why not do it anyway, just in case. The cheap air stuff hardens way slower. Brand Per hardens in 5 to 10 minutes completely. Cheap Per could be soft and slime after a few hours because it needs the air to harden. So you cut it and the knife is under the glue and the clothing floor and the beard. Nope. Don't want that stuck in my beard. That sounds like an annoying product to work with now that you phrase it like that. I guess the trick would be to put small amounts of it on, really. Both their outsides harden as quickly. A cyberpunk prosthetic that's a regular arm but with a tiny hand at the end just for modeling. I mean, that would be kind of cool. Most of the time when I think about like implants and stuff like that, it just sounds really dystopian and awful. But I might be coming around on the subject. I could become a Borg modeler. I am Loglutus of Borg. Sometimes I think I'm funny. There. Now let's have the fun of gluing these on and being all like worried that it's not going to fit properly. That's the best bit. Probably don't need to video the second lot. We want that to be sitting properly horizontal. It's hard to tell, but I think it is. Real proper horizontal, right? That's probably okay. I feel like if it's against the bumper here, that should be fine. Hopefully. So what I'm saying is pay a little more for the good stuff. It is for modeling best. It's an awesome way to get hills and mountains fast. You cut it in size and plaster a sculpt mold. It sounds like basically a liquid form of the foam I've already got. Excuse me. Which should also be good for building hills. I don't plan to build a lot of hills for my railway. It's mostly going to be like... I don't know how you would describe it. Just like a town or city. But it won't be at the bottom level of the baseboard. I know how it's going to look in my head. I'm just very bad at wording. I will probably do a video soon showing what I plan to do, at least in the switch corner. I've got a building partially done for that. Isolation sheets. I don't know what isolation sheets are. Insulation? Just a big... I don't know what measurement they are. Big flat boards that are like 50 millimeters, or you get them in 30 or 50 millimeter thickness. They are intended as insulation. Very difficult to find. I went to buy them a while ago. I figured out how many I would need and everything, how much it would cost. And I went to go to the hardware shop. I checked their website before I left, and they were like, "This item is now discontinued." Fucking dog cunts. And then I had a real hard time trying to find it local. Impossible to do. And the place I found that was cheapest had a minimum of $200 in foam. You had to... That was the minimum. And shipping was something like $80 because it was in Perth. That's the other side of the country. Shipping probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 of those boards across the country is really dumb. But fortunately, at some point, the hardware started selling them again. And as soon as I found out the hardware started selling them again, I went and bought them. I spent $100, but that's still like $200 cheaper than what I would have had to pay. I figure the insulation boards would be good because I want to build a town on a flattish surface. And it might as well be completely flat. And I just add some little variations to that. They're not perfectly level. I blame the children. It's the children who are wrong. It is an expensive hobby. Fortunately, sometimes there are ways you can, like, save. He found a free stack of insulation because some guy rebuilt his attic. I mean, that would be ideal. I had one piece of foam that my friend bought probably almost 15 years ago, and she never used it. It was intended for like a Warhammer. I think they have like a competition where you build like a little scene on like 40 centimeter by 40 centimeter foam base. And she bought a big board of foam for that. Never used it, so I got that, but it wouldn't have been enough for my model railway. I'm completed with step... No, I'm not completed with step 2. There's wheels in step 2 as well. But I think I'm ready to start with the wheels. Over the space of 3 steps, you install the internal detail for the engine bay, or the radiator bay, I guess. There is nothing in the engine bay, only radiators. Where are the wheels? Excuse me. So many wheels. A very wanted material, and it's a war between home improvers and modelers. I don't know if that's the case in Australia. It seems really uncommon. Like, there aren't local... Like, I checked a bunch of local, like, hardware and building supplier distributors, and they just don't stock any foam stuff like that. Probably explains why houses around here are pretty shit when it comes to insulation. Need A6. These 4 are A6. I've also seen that foam board being sold on like eBay for in like 30 centimeter squares for exorbitant prices. I can't remember the prices I saw, but it was more than the big sheets that I got cost. They were like $20. It's a very wanted material for modelers, is what I'm trying to say. Seen a bunch of threads on Reddit from Australians saying, "Where can I get this?" And everyone just being like, nowhere, probably. I mean, you can buy it from Perth if you want to pay $80 shipping. But now it's not a problem for me, at least. I hopefully have enough for my purposes. In Australia, it's always hot. You all live underground and wear all white clothing and have a Crocodile Dundee hat. This is true. I have my Crocodile Dundee hat over there. You do not need insulation foam sheets. I mean, we could. Surely they would keep the cool in if we had air conditioners running. Or keep the heat out. Oh no, I've cut the top of my head off. Now, wheel nubbin removal. This is going to take a wheel, by which I mean a while. Really need to look for that new Atlas book from 1985 where it says this fact. Does it also have, like, here be dragons in the edges of where the ocean is? I wouldn't mind living underground. I think that would be kind of cool. Well, that's the first set of wheels. That didn't take too long. I hope. They show 3 African tribes, like this is it. Just 3 tribes, and one always has red painted faces. It sounds like it's from before 1985. Maybe they just copied from a really old one. Now, to get these wheels onto the correct axles. This could be mistake number 40. I've forgotten what number we're up to. 44. Okay. The book shows me. The book knows. Okay, these start at the last doodad. And they just plop on. This should be easy. Did we pass mistake number 43? I think that might be the one we're up to. I don't know. I could push the button, but that would be falsely adding a mistake. And I've not made any mistakes yet. Emphasis on the word yet. That is not straight. Oh, I'm hoping these don't look like utter shit. They look consistent, and they look mostly straight. And that's probably the best I can ask for at this point. Go upside down so as to not cause them to shift out of place. Just make sure I haven't skipped over anything. Old Herbert wouldn't do that, surely. Looks like I've got everything there. Step 3. I think I'm just going to ignore the radiator steps and put them all in one go. That makes more sense to me. I don't know if that's a good way to do it, but that's what I'm going to do. There's 3 ways to do things. The good way, the bad way, and the Herbert Erpaderp way, which is the bad way. But slower. Did you ever build one of the old Matchbox tank kits in 76 scale? I have not. Not one that was branded Matchbox. I may have built one that's been reboxed without knowing. Probably not, though. This next step calls for idler wheels. I can idler wheel if I can find the correct sprue. Revell seldom sometimes. I haven't built that many Revell kits in my not youth. That's pretty much all I had. And Revell and Airfix as a kid, but I haven't built any in my adult times because, you know, I know they're not that good. With the mini display, I'm confused. That's the normal state for you, isn't it, Herbert? Mm-hmm. And we put that over there and that over there, and we get the other sprue and get another idler wheel. I just noticed there's a piece of ammunition, 2 of them, on this sprue. Does that mean we get an internal ammo rack, or is it just for funsies? I think maybe it's just for funsies. It would probably really upset somebody if I glued the ammo into the sponson part of the tank without there being racks for it. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, there's no ammo racks. I guess that's if you want to build like a little diorama of the tank being loaded or something. Matchbox tanks each had a small diorama included. Ah, I didn't know that. Then I probably almost certainly haven't built one. My drink is empty. That makes me so mad. Don't glue them there. There are no racks for it. Oh man, Trekan's getting all angry at me. There were some neat kits. Yeah. But are they going to be moldings from the 50s that you have to fight the whole time? I don't really have that kind of nostalgia that other people have. So I don't really enjoy that. I guess in fairness, not all old kits are like that. Looks pretty wheelie. That one's got a bit of a flat spot on it. Must have been those punk kids. Churchill bridge laying thingy was your favorite? Bridge layers are cool. I want to build a Centurion bridge layer. I've seen one of those in operation and that was really cool. I'm also old. You may be older, but I'm also old. And crap. Okay, there is a reason to throw the wheel. I don't know what that reason is. Most Matchbox kits and Revell and Airfix are a strange scale. 76 is a British scale? I don't know. Is 76th scale 00 scale? I think that might be the reason for it. That's why they call me Angry Sauerkraut Man. That's a name to be proud of. Now let's hope gluing this together is easy, because it looks easy. Does the keying want to key? Maybe? Maybe? There. See if I can get some glue in the middle and not on my fingers. One. Tanks in 76 and planes in 72nd. And never the twain shall meet. I think HO is a different scale to OO. It's just the same track gauge. I think HO is like 87th scale. Yeah, like Silly says, HO is 87th, half O. I don't quite understand the intricacies of the different scales on the same gauges. Like, I know that they're to represent loading gauges differently. And it's the same with N, where American is 160th and British is 148th. I'm not very smart though, so I don't understand things with numbers. Started building in 74? I mean, do you mean 1974 or 74th scale? Let's glue. Do 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 do. That one went together a bit easier for some reason. Okay, got those. And now to not mix up other wheels. Looks like A1 and A3. First kit was covered up by the heart on OBS. 14p. I don't know how much 14p is, but it doesn't sound like a lot. I choose to believe it was literally 14p's. OO gauge is 76. Learn something useless today. I mean, you might use that knowledge. Probably not. Everyone likes knowing useless things, though. Airfix came in a plastic bag. I think I've had an old Dapol plastic locomotive kit that came in a bag. And some wagons, I think. I don't remember. Howdy, Herbert. Got no audio right now, but still came to join. Well, then you can't hear me saying I appreciate you being here. But I do. Airfix made a stack of locos too. Were the Dapol ones just like reboxings of the Airfix ones, or am I imagining that? It's hard to know when you don't know much. A1s go in the middle. Or the inner side. I wonder if these should be glued together before trying to put them on the axle. A3 is the row below them, and they look very similar. So maybe don't mix them up. You're gonna regret getting into 00 as an American? Probably. It seems it's hard to get British stuff in Australia, in my experience. It's probably even harder in the US. Was 8, didn't care. They were smart kids for a young, though. I
That's what
believe
she said.
you. That's what she said. Wiki quote, 00 scale model railways were launched by Bing. I choose to believe that's the search engine that nobody uses as the table railway. I remember wanting clockwork trains as a kid because I saw them in cartoons. Then I was convinced that electric model railways were a thing. Removing nobbins. Everyone's favorite. Double O does take up a lot of room. I would love to build... Well, probably because I want to build British trains, it would be 00, but I'd love to build a model railway in that scale. Because you can just add more detail and stuff, but I want to run trains that are longer than 2 wagons. So I went with N scale. Do kind of wish I had more of the N scale stuff I had when I was younger. I'm sure I've got some in storage somewhere, like some US prototype wagons. But other than that, I've only got a couple of engines and they don't work. Which sucks, but kind of expect that for little models that have been sitting around for probably more than 20 years. Angry Sauerkraut gets even more angry because he is getting hungry. That makes sense. Angry, hungry, got it. Trekan is funny. I hope you satisfy your hunger, Trekan, and thank you for dropping by. Apple wheel cleaning up and... Still want to make a T-gauge train track 450th scale. That would be cool. Do they have, like... Is there a lot of variety in trains you can get for that scale? Because that would be the main thing for me. Not wanting to scratch build everything I want. You could do some awesome scenery in that sort of scale. That'd be cool. Maybe I should have clipped out all of this load of wheels. Go small or go home. Oh, I am going home. Keep the tidied up ones separate. It'll be easier. T-Gauge has 18 locomotives. Tgauge.com, rather. I'm going to look at that. And then I'm going to start wanting to buy some of them. Then Then I run the risk of deciding to scrap my N gauge that I've already spent billions of dollars on. Let's have a look. GP8. Was there a GP8? Or do they mean GP9? It looks very undetailed, but, I mean, you're not really going to be looking at that up close. That's really cool. Oh, look. A British Rail 08 shunter. Shit. Surprisingly. Does it have the side rods? Not in the picture. That actually looks pretty good for how small it is, though. I guess people on YouTube didn't get the link, but that's neat. 99 pounds for the 08, though. That's probably like 3,000 Australian dollars. Remember making the old Airfix Tiger a couple of times and always struggled with the damn two-part turret. Yeah, I was always too impatient to let glue dry as a kid too, and it was that really thick goopy glue in a tube. So you can imagine like a child doesn't really have a lot of control over that. Ah, the good old days. I still don't have the patience to wait for glue to dry. That's all we had. It is true. I'm glad that things have improved since then. I don't think I would be building models as much as I do now if they were all, like, full of flash and mold lines and low-quality fits with goopy thick glue. The system is so small. You're watching YouTube videos, it's so small, and it's pretty good. That's good. I'm not really surprised, because, like, you can make tiny little motors and things these days. Hooray for technology. I wonder how annoying it would be to, like, try do shunting and uncoupling all the cars in T-scale. That's probably not the purpose of the scale. You probably have to have, like, little robotic uncouplers or something. Thank you for gluing. See you. Thank you for dropping by, Van Pelt. I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay. That's some more wheels, not all completed, or cleaned up at least. And now do they... That goes around that way, which makes sense because there's detail on the outside, and then... They don't really seem to want to go together. That's annoying. I guess it is intended that you stick them onto the axle first. Or have I got it around the wrong way? It is entirely possible. Though, the undetailed, it wouldn't matter which way I had it around. Those are the parts that go together. Will force just fix it? Actually, yes. Hooray for force! Let's do that then. Stop bumping the mic, you fool. Very wheel. Now let's not film the same assembly 10 times over. Like I said before, fuck you guys, I'm going home. I'm already home. Hopefully, once I get these road wheels on, I will be able to do the tracks. I'm going to do one set of tracks off stream. Hopefully, that'll allow me to figure it out and not have to arse about on stream, and we can get it done quicker. When is your next planned stream? Probably in the morning. It's almost midnight, so like 9 hours from now, I'm probably going to play Railroader. Other than that, because it's Thursday and then the weekend, excuse me, not really strict with planning streams on the weekend. I would like to play more Ranch Sim with Barnaby, and that's based on his availability. Probably on a Friday, I might play something at some point in the evening. Otherwise, the next definitely planned stream is Monday morning, my time, obviously, for the Schwimmwagen from Das Werk. Your morning is early midnight. Time zones suck. I could just ruin my sleep schedule and be streaming at times where, like, international people are awake, because there's barely any Aussies around here. But don't think it's really worth that. I gotta figure out which way around these go. That's not difficult. I've already done it. shouldn't be too hard. That's what she said. 11 there. I assume PM or AM? The two places I know what the time are here and Edinburgh, where it is 1:41 PM. Ah, Japan. That makes sense. You'd best be in focus, phone. Or straight to the bin you'll go. Yeah, if that's where the wheel goes. There's definitely some wonkiness there. I think mostly the inner wheels though, so hopefully that doesn't cause a problem. Where Tamiya kits roam wild. What a wonderful land. Can order freshly caught Tamiya kits from HobbyLink Japan, but they don't keep in the mail. Farewell, Silly. Thank you for dropping by. That one took a bit more pressure than I wanted. That's not too bad. There's a whole nother row of wheels, though. Oh, actually. Forgot about the idler wheels. How rude of me. They're not keyed, they just go on. There's a hair there. How dare. Or walk into the Tamiya store. It's a walk to Mecca. I would go there if I could. Also, hey Keith, how you doing? Now let us hope that the idler wheel holder thingy is in the right spot. Because otherwise it's going to be very annoying. And that's the worst kind of annoying. That looks like it's straight relative to the other wheels. That's probably enough. That should be okay. Should. How's the down under today? It's not hot currently, really. It's 24 degrees, so I guess it's good. didn't get any flooding where I am. Other people got flooding, like Barnaby. Now we got another double set of wheels. Drive sprocket, which... they want glued into place. Or at least positioned. I guess so that the leading road wheel won't interfere with it. Not really wanting to glue the drive sprocket on before adding the tracks. That would be stupid, so I'm not going to. Can't believe you do all that with no paint. I mean, it's pretty easy. You just don't put paint on. I think... I don't actually think. I'm just pretending that I think. I was hoping to get all of the road wheels on before the next stream, but I'm getting tired and hungry. I need to eat or I'll die. That's a bit dramatic, Herbert. So I think I'll leave that for next time. Next Wednesday, I will resume working on this. Possibly the same time, same channel. I might do a little bit of offline work on the wheels and get one track set on. We'll see how I feel through the week. 99% of armor kits are built before painting. Yeah, I mean, you can build however you like. I find it pretty easy to paint a model that's entirely put together. I've done that in, like, 285th scale, because they're, by default, all together. I will probably be back in the morning for some Railroader, both here on YouTube and Twitch, unless I don't sleep good, in which case I won't. I feel like there's something else I'm meant to say, but there's not. Probably not anyway. There's a stream highlight video if you're a patron. You can go watch that. Otherwise, that's it. Thank you for watching. I don't think I'll do a raid. Have a good whatever time zone you're in. I'll see you next time. Toodaloo!